Alright, we've got the artistic rendering on the copper clad board now. This copper clad is basically fiberglass on one side and a copper layer on the other. And the toner resists the copper etching, and so all that remains is where the toner is. So anything that's bare copper will be etched away. And then that becomes our circuit, and we drill out these holes for the components, and then we populate the board and then wire it up. So that's the first step here. Okay, we've got the etchant. We're going to use muriatic acid and 40% hydrogen peroxide, which you can get at your local beauty salon. And then we've got some Spice Supreme that we won't be using, but at any rate, we'll go ahead and get the etchant bath going, and we'll start to see it etch. Okay, it's time to drop the kids off at the pool here, and basically we have pretty much a, I wouldn't say 50-50, it's more like about 4 parts muriatic acid to 1 part hydrogen peroxide. We'll just sort of rock it back and forth here, and then you can see the copper will start to etch away. And this takes a while, so I'm not going to record the whole thing, but you'll start to see it change. Alright, we're continuing to etch here, and the copper's starting to loosen up here, so we'll keep checking on this, and we'll just keep it agitating, getting that copper layer to come off slowly. Alright, we're really starting to see it etch now. Just don't want to drop my phone into the etchant bath here, otherwise I don't think that'll be covered in my insurance. So anyway, it's getting there. Okay, this is what it looks like with all the copper etched off, and we're just left with the toner. Of course, the toner resisting the etchant. They turn out really well. I noticed there's one spot right there, and it won't really focus that well, where the copper over-etched a little bit. But I can fix that pretty easily with just a little connection, and it's all done. So we will go ahead and drill it out. Okay, we've got the PC board drilled, and I went ahead and populated the board as well. I didn't get really any video of drilling out the board, but simply I just drilled where the spots were there. I drilled on the reverse side, and then had these holes, and then just populated the board with the components, and then we're going to solder on the other side. Okay, I've started to solder this other side. The PC board didn't cut real straight, but I think you'll get the idea. But we just simply solder from this side, and then we'll have the populated board, and I'll have wires sticking out on how to hook those up to the tip connection and ground or sleeve connection, to the enclosure and jacks and stuff, and you'll see how that works here in a second. Okay, we're done soldering this side. I've got one component that I don't have in my stash. I'll have to just probably grab at Radio Shack. It's just a 220 picofarad, I believe, capacitor. And then I'll put the hookup wire on, and then we'll be ready to test it on my test rig. We now have the leads coming off of the PC board, and I've added the volume control, and basically what's going on is the input, which is going to be, actually this wire here is going to come in, do all the stuff inside the circuit, and these two end ones here, here, and here are going to be ground connections, which I'm going to actually do one of the ground connections to the first lug there that's empty. But the sound goes through and then comes out into lug 3, out of lug 2 of the volume into the tip connection of the output jack, and then of course into your amp. And so I'm just going to connect this to lug 1, which is a ground connection on the volume knob, and then really I'm just waiting on one component and we can test it.